Episode number 6. So right after I was thrown into the custody cell, I tried to steal the metal door, and I requested the guard at the front reception desk there, where I can see through the tiny glass hole there on the door. I asked them to dial the number, as the guard showed me a piece of a page. They pretend to show me I have the basic human rights there. I could ask the guard to dial the Chinese embassy, or call my folks or somebody I might be familiar with in here. So I requested the guard to dial the number of the Chinese embassy. Well, the male guard are there. I don't know. I'm not sure he actually did try to dial the number, or he just pretend to dial there, which he didn't. And he turned around, replied me, the number is not putting through. The phone is not putting through. He means there's nobody answering. Yeah, he means the Chinese embassy side, the number, there was nobody answering. Well, probably it's late in the night, probably nobody answering, normal. And to say nothing is about the Chinese embassy, yeah. The Chinese embassy in Ireland, they don't answer phone. It's very normal. Overseas embassies, very normal. They don't pick up the phone, yeah. And then I request again, later, ask the other woman guard to help me call my folks, yeah, to dial the number for me. Well, she just completely denied it, yeah. Maybe she pretended it, but she didn't do it. I was watching, I was standing inside the custody cell by the door, looking through that tiny glass hole, watching her. She didn't do that. Yeah, she didn't call, she didn't have the number. Well, the Gardaí, apparently, the target station, they intended to, what? Yeah, as the Garda Brennan throw me into there, which the guards probably they know they had done it wrong, but they have to pretend to finish this, to make it look like justified, yeah, to make it justified to put me in there, charge me, detain me, got me frozen overnight until the be hold up for the next day for court. So then, after that, I stepped back, and for a while, I asked the woman guard, I say, I'm cold. I asked her to give me back my clothes, my puffy jacket. She refused to give me. And instead, later, I request again. The woman guard opened the metal door, the steel door, and throw me a piece of the so-called blanket. Yeah, the blanket. Let me tell you what it is like. Okay, quite small. Yeah, not big, and it's like hardened. It's not like a soft blanket we use at home on the bed. It's hardened, and I was hit by that strong, heavy smell of heavy pee. Yeah. It's the heavy smell of urine. I just throw it back right to her, like, it smells like a pee. You must have peed on it. And then for this, I even got more furious towards those bunch of Gardaí in there. Tried assaulting me, abusing me, humiliate me like that. I say, you must have peed on it, and then you gave it to me. I threw it back to her. Then the woman guard just took it away and closed the door, shut down the tiny glass hole, and then she left. So nobody came back to carry me for a long while, and I was left inside there. And then for a while, I think I started there sitting on the floor, started crying. Yeah, that was definitely hysterical, crying, screaming there, but nobody could hear me. Yeah. I really wish that somebody would come over to help me out there, but nobody, as the guard didn't want to call anybody for their arrest on me and the detention of me. And I was left inside there by alone on myself. Yeah, desperateness, crying with tears, wash my face. I didn't have any sleep, of course, apparently. I didn't have any sleep through the whole evening, the whole night until the next morning. It was a tough night, and it was freezing cold. And what can I do? They say there's a piece of mat, yeah, that blue mat, yeah, it's also cold. It doesn't help anything. I tried to roll it. I tried to move it towards the metal door there, and try to, like how do I say? You try to sit down there with the half part of the mat towards up straight towards the door, so that I can sit there, sit against there, and try to lie down there, even they're sobbing, yeah, still with tears there, and then I keep silent. Then from time to time, the guard will just pass by and try to open the window glass hole, try to take a look, maybe to check whether I was behaving well in there. And take a look, then shut down, then pass by. And then later, like a couple hours later, then come back another guard to check. I know, because I couldn't sleep. It's freezing, shivering. I was shivering there with only a top sun shirt on, without any shoes either. The cold winter months in March. I was so desperate, helpless there. And I didn't take any food, nor drinking any water either. And that day, on the 22nd of March, I only had lunch. And in the afternoon, I just took the bus, went back to Margaret Watches, and then got viciously arrested by the Garda Brennan. And they forced me into the custody cell in the evening. So can you imagine that how many hours I didn't take any food or drinking water? It's until the next morning, until the time, actually until the afternoon when they finally released me. So here, finally, when the long, tough night finishes, and I checked the time, which showed there's a clock or something like a clock shows the time on the screen over there, nearby the front desk there, reception desk. So I can actually see it through that through the middle of the tiny glass hole on the steel door. So I frequently, attentively, to check the time. And finally, I check it's already like 7 a.m. or so. And then I started past the door to question the Garda who's outside, who's passing by there. I say, where are the Garda? Where are the two policemen who challenged me to take me to the court yesterday? They said they're going to take me to the court at 7 a.m. It's already 7. Where are they? I can't wait. I can't wait now. And this one male guard and another woman guard, and stood there. One of the very relaxed, standing there, and with how do I say that grinning face, and showing me aside, staring at me. Do you know that the court doesn't open until 10? And then turn around, then left again. And then that got me really mad at them. I started cursing them with all the bad words that I can think of there. With you bastards, you liars. You lied to me. You said you'd take me to the court at 7 a.m. You fooled me around. You fooled me around like a fool. I don't know. Yeah. I used all the bad words that with the range of my vocabulary I can use with the bastards, you jerks, you fooled me around here like that. And then finally until when the time reaches like 10 a.m. or so, yeah. And then I take a look at those guards out there. They're still not in a state of hurry. And I keep asking, what time? Yeah, when will you take me to the court? And then finally, the two male guards opened the steel door. I heard one of them and throw away the pair of shoes of mine by the outside of the steel door there. And one of them asked me to stood up.